Alright, okay, whachow! It's like a geek of the nuts. I'm your host, Sci Guy. Today we're joined by the regular staff, Curb,
Hey, what's going on?
Sean,
Yo, yo, yo.
Martin,
Hello.
Cyberlink,
Greetings and salutations.
Craigie Dave,
G'day.
Frobman,
Who wants to listen to me read the phone book?
Liz,
Pizza trophy!
Trunks,
What?
and our super special guests, the creators, the content voice providers for Cryamore, an indie game hopefully coming out in, March 2014. We're joined by Rob, the lead artist,
Hello.
Alan, the lead badass,
Hi.
Kimlin, the voice of Bliss,
Charmed.
and Marianne Miller, the voice of Martin.
Castle made of poop!
So, hey guys,
And I, as the casting director, cast her as the part of Martin, who is a very important character in Cryamore. You idiot.
I'm British.
and
Top
Brit-
Totten.
DLC.
Crikey.
So, hello, welcome to the show. We all appreciate you coming here and dedicating time for your busy schedule just for us.
That's no problem. It's good to be here.
Okay, so Cryamore, what for people that don't know what it is, what it is?
What the hell is it?
It's basically, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a commercial attempt
Okay.
to do what, I guess AAA games these days are not doing. It's an independent game. Have a brain fart here. It's gonna be a action RPG. Something that's not usually done when it comes to the indie scene. Usually with games like this, it's usually short romps, 3 to 4 hours, Zelda clone. But we're actually planning on this to be like a full-scale commercial indie game.
Okay. It looks absolutely stunning. It looks I'm totally behind on it. Okay, so we've got what is the story? What's it about?
Well, basically, we have Esme. She's the main character here. She's basically a little girl that grew up in, I guess, a recently settled, I want to say in about 100 years, on the town of Noka Island in the town of Gilcrest, an island of Noka Island on the town of Gilcrest. And basically, she grew up studying Cryamore, and right now she has to find out why things are going wrong on the island and in the town due to, Cryamore resources shrinking down. Now, Cryamore, it powers everything in the village. Just think of it like electricity, your electric bill, your water bill. It's the main source of what keeps everything moving. And it revolves around cash, everything pretty much.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe Alan could probably explain it better too as well.
Alan, what do you got?
Cryamore is basically a valuable resource for the whole town of Noka Island.
Yeah, there you go.
No, for the whole town of Gilcrest, and it functions kind of like magic, which they mix with science to go about their daily lives. So,
Okay. Magic science. No, magic science sounds very interesting. I would be very interested in getting some of this. That would help me out.
It's cool because, there's a bunch of different, as you can see on the Kickstarter, there's a bunch of different elemental types of Cryamore and stuff. And they each serve different purposes. Like in the video, they talk about how fire Cryamore is for cooking food and keeping warm when it's in the winter. Water Cryamore obviously is for taking showers and having fresh water for drinking, etc.
Yeah.
So they all serve a different purpose. And Esmeralda's going around different places in this world, collecting it so her town can continue to survive.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And so you take the role as Esme, and you're gonna go around and try and collect more stuff, and then save your village, save your people.
Yep, that's pretty much the goal of it. Now, we haven't introduced, I guess, a lot of, what's the more in-depth stuff that goes in the game. Like, there's an
whole lot.
there's an actual race native to Noka Island known as the Pyraxians. And basically, they're like the Amish people of Noka Island. They don't use Cryamore for whatever reason. They don't like humans because they're using Cryamore. And we know the real reason, but we're just not going to reveal that yet. But that's the reason. Yes, it's a much more in-depth approach to the internal, I guess, storyline.
Because of all the greenhouse gases. in the Cryamore.
Greenhouse Cryamore.
Yeah, that's the question mark one that hasn't been revealed yet. It's Greenhouse Cryamore. You got it.
I knew it.
Greenhouse
Exclusive.
gases make me cry more.
Ah,
Right,
I
right,
think we were gonna get there eventually. I mean, why not, Sean?
Thank you for that.
Well-
time too.
We're going for the bottom of the barrel.
Okay, so how does it play? What game do you think that it kind of resembles, or how does it you pick up the game and you start playing and how does it feel?
When you first pick up the game, the control scheme and everything, it will remind you of Zelda. Zelda, and probably for people who haven't played, most people are, the most hardcore people who played Super Nintendo games in the past, Secret of Mana. Those are the main two games that you're going to be reminded of when you pick up Cryamore.
Okay, so what were some other inspirations on the game, and how were they actually implemented? How did you what things did you take a note from?
Well, personally, being a fan of all those games, I guess my first game I really got into was Mega Man.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's for everybody. I guess here in this chat, Mega Man is, a character that's really close to our hearts. As far as how the gameplay goes and as a character. So we basically blended the ability grabbing, technique of Mega Man from different bosses, and we kind of combined that with Zelda in the fact that Link would need a hook shot to get across a cliff. We kind of combined that element to, fuse abilities with items. So now basically, I guess Alan could help me out here. Basically, I'm trying to think of an ability that we have.
Using the greenhouse one.
Something like
Summon Cat's Planet. No,
something
sorry.
like the roast beam to actually burn through obstacles in your way,
Yeah,
and the rock drill to dig through debris and boulders and stuff.
Okay.
yeah. So still be utilizing different elements to progress through the game. Like for instance, there's a time element, which Chrono Trigger. Everybody knows this is my favorite game. I had to put time in it.
Woo.
But basically, time, she could self-paradox herself, like Zelda Four Swords, make four versions of herself to beat a puzzle. So, technically, like in Back to the Future, the old movies, when, Marty went back in time, he saw his multiple self, he create that paradox. So we're utilizing different ways to bring, to use elements to create like a contextual puzzle solving type of mechanic in the game.
Okay. Okay.
And
Awesome.
it's not even limited to just abilities that you use for exploration, since we're also including Cryamore abilities for offense and defense and support.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So you guys have raised over $117,000, but
At the time of this recording.
at the time of
anyway.
this recording, that's correct. But why should people donate? What's in it for them?
Honestly, a lot of people. Personally, I think a lot of people are, jaded with the independent scene right now. And Kickstarter as well. I've seen a lot of comments saying, "Oh, it's just another Kickstarter project. They're gonna bomb. It's not gonna, turn out. It's not gonna be profitable." But we see it as an opportunity to make an actual detailed independent game that's the likes of what we used to have back in the Super Nintendo and PSX era.
Right. Okay.
And we have the resources right now to make it possible, but nobody's really doing it. So we want to capitalize on that and just do it.
Okay. Awesome. So okay, what other projects has everyone else been involved in?
I guess that's me. I don't know. Let them start off for a second. I'm tired of being a star here.
Alan, you've worked on a whole lot of stuff. Why don't you take that one to start off?
Oh well, before I got involved with Cryamore, I was working on a personal project of mine called 8-Bit Bastards, which was a beat 'em up of sorts, similar to Guardian Heroes from was it the Sega Saturn?
Yep.
Yeah, the Sega Saturn. And after that, it's like I messaged Rob about making a game together, and he actually went with it. And then we started coming up with Cryamore after that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty instantaneous. Like that night after he came to me and approached me, we just started brainwashing and not brainwashing, brainstorming.
Well, brainwashing.
Brainwashing
Well,
would be nice,
well.
though.
Make
Make it. You will craft my creation.
Yeah, so yeah, and after that, it was just I want to say a rush. We picked up Ivy, I guess the day after. Then Steve Slash, he goes. It's spelled Sarashu, but how you pronounce it is Slash. He hopped on the following day, and then Koki hopped on. And then it's just been a big snowball effect from there.
Okay, awesome.
Then I snuck my way in somehow.
And the biggest snowball of all goes to Kerbifer.
Yeah. Well, I went up to Rob at Otakon. I'd heard about the game. There was some early art on his DeviantArt for a while, and I've been following his stuff for years by that point, from like Udon and Skullgirls and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, do you guys want more help?" And he's like, "We're gonna need some." And so I sent in like, here is a list of things of all the stuff I can do. And then they gave me a test to do some like rough animation for Esmeralda running around. And I did that, and they were like, "Okay, you're in. You're gonna help us." And so we were in a Skype call one day, and I said, "Hey, do you guys need voices?" And they were like, "Oh, well, we're thinking about having voices." And I'm like, "Cool. Let me get you people that don't suck." A few auditions later, I got them: Erica Mendez, Mariana Miller, and Kim Latran. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yay! Speaking of you guys, what other projects have the voice actresses been involved in?
Where should we start?
I'm gonna go with Kimlin because Marianne's gonna talk forever.
Jesus. Marianne's all awesome though. But anyways, on my case, I've worked on Skullgirls as the voice of Ms. Fortune, and I've also voiced Fidget in Dust and Elysian Tale, and I also voice Ven and Queen Serecta and Heroes of New Earth. There's plenty of other stuff out there, like my work on DBZ, Team 4 Stars DBZ Abridged, and and also Sanity Not Included, where I voice Amanda. The list just goes on, but those are the more prominent ones.
Yeah, and some shitty cartoon called Tome. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
You can't say that word,
It's okay, Trunks will bleep it out. It's all good.
Now I gotta. What was that?
Work.
Oh no, now I gotta edit. Oh, wah.
I'm going to kick you out, I think.
Remember to bleep out the word tome, okay?
Yeah, I will.
That's a swear word.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's Curb's fault. It's always Curb's fault.
Marianne Miller.
What?
What else have you done?
What else have I done?
I don't know.
I'm also in Heroes of New Earth. I'm the drunk tavern wench and Solstice, who has a fantastic booty. And I'm in a video game called Avalon Code. I voice I guess he's the heartthrob character. His name's Anwar. He likes getting broadswords and cake. That's how you woo him. And
you were also in a Flash game where you essentially were the Slender Man.
Oh yeah, I was a child Slender Man in Shadow Tag. That was for like a game festival. All my big credits here. And I had like a line in Full Metal Alchemist, the movie. I told them where the carnival was.
Which I make fun of her for years.
That's an awesome line, actually. The movie wouldn't have happened without me. But yeah, mostly little boys. Pretty much only little boys.
Which is she's a little boy in this game, so.
Yay!
If actually, I'm gonna ask a question, even though I'm working on it, because I don't even know this. So Esmeralda's the playable character, and Braxton is her little scruffy sidekick, and Bliss is her annoying comedy relief.
Mm-hmm.
So what roles do Bliss and Braxton, the brother and sisters, have in the game itself?
Well, we didn't want an annoying Navi kind of I guess character following Esme around.
Right.
And we figured that Braxton would be, the know-it-all. Mm-hmm. So technically he acts as Esme's throughout the game, Esme's base, maybe you should do this, Esme, giving her tips throughout the game.
So I get lots of lines.
I was just going to say, yep, you got your work cut out for you.
So much money.
So that's how Braxton's going to be worked in. Bliss is going to be more of a comic relief character through different cutscenes and events. So she's just going to have equally as much dialogue as well. So you're going to be seeing them three a lot.
Okay.
You're mainly going to be seeing Esme, but you'll be seeing them a lot throughout the course of the game.
I have a question too. Like when it comes to fully, like, because obviously we passed the fully voiced like stretch goal. So does that mean like just the three of us will be voiced, or does that mean that like all the characters will be voiced, or is there a medium in there? Like,
Well, funding is going so well where we already got full voice acting, and that covered over, other NPCs as well
okay,
that are part of the game. So we're talking about a fully voice experience now.
wow,
And originally, um, me and Alan and myself, we were kind of iffy about the whole thing because I love Brave Fencer Musashi, and I think Musashi had excellent voice acting as a game when I grew up. And I was like, man, it'll be so awesome since we're, drawing inspiration from Musashi. We could actually do, voiceover, full voiceover, just like Musashi in the game. And that's how they came about. And so, yeah, we have plans to make this a full-fledged voiceover experience.
cool.
In fact, we're going to be doing some auditions for some new characters, which are not revealed just yet. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more other dudes, and there's also if you've seen on the Tumblr, which is cryamore.tumblr.com, there's also some other characters that have been revealed, like Esme's parents, the lead bad guy, some of the summons, who are these really cool looking like creatures and different spirits and things like that. So they'll all be in there as well.
Yep. So there's a lot of characters involved.
You know, it's funny. I just realized too. Musashi was played by Mona Marshall, I think, right, in that game.
I believe so.
Because
Same voice of
Marietta, I
Iggy
remember she was like a big influence of yours back in the day, wasn't she? Like we used to talk about how good she was at like little boy characters and stuff back in like 2007 and 8 and stuff.
Yeah, she was definitely one of my favorite. Her and Brienne Siddall, I love their little boy voices.
They're awesome.
All right, so if Cryamore were to become a movie, who would play who?
Me playing Braxton, duh.
Well, obvious. Other than that,
We can bind the boobs. It's okay.
I think you're a little too tall for the part, Marietta.
And maybe
It's cool.
two
We
tattoos.
could pull off some of the Lord of the Ring Hobbit techniques into it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Camera trick that shit.
Cameron, I hope you're prepared to step into the outfits that Bliss wears.
I'll just stuff some bean bags into my shirt.
Bean bags.
In various places. Oh God.
Wait, what?
Places with this.
Beanbag.
Various places. Where
Well,
else would
she's
you
got
put
a
them?
giant butt. Have you seen her butt?
I haven't noticed her butt yet.
She has
Man,
like
Becky,
one
have you
butt.
seen
It
her
is the
butt?
best
It is so.
It is so
It is quite a butt.
She looks
This
like
is
one of those
definitely, like-
Braxton's girlfriends.
Boy
Uh,
girlfriends? What the
boy-
hell?
Girl boyfriends.
Yeah, we figured Bliss she turned into more of the flirty, fan servicey type of character over the course
So,
of the
The
creation.
more we donate, the bigger her butt gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's
good
an incentive I
stretch
can get behind.
I like
Yeah.
how practical her outfit is, though.
Yeah, that's another thing that we wanted to make, because other than Esme, and we gotten comments on Esme's outfit, but it's a reason she dresses the way she dresses compared to everyone else in the game. So rather than having females in games that kind of push the envelope as far as like that's the slight feminist attitude that you get from games like this, we figured you put them in more appropriate clothing would be a better way to go.
Which is cool because I mean, Rob, you are quite good at drawing the bodacious ladies. So
Yeah.
the fact that like you're going that
Yes.
like you're consciously going that route, I think is actually really cool because it's a better choice for the game itself. So
Well, and I like that. I mean, because Bliss has very ample bosoms, but she, like the rest of her body, follows up with it. She's a really thick girl. So even if she doesn't fall into that that stupid stereotype of like, okay, giant boobs and no waist and no butt. So
Right.
I appreciate that.
That's a personal thing with my art style in particular. I just like drawing more realistic women in proportion. That's just something that just stuck with me. And
Well, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
Funny
Oh,
thing
by
is
the
that-
way, a slight side note, but I'm just remembering because we're talking about your artwork. If you guys don't follow Rob, he's Rob's Corner on Tumblr. He did these really, really cool like reinterpretations of like all the Sonic characters a long time ago that looked
Oh,
really
yeah.
neat. It's not to do with Cryamore, I know, but it's also cool, and you should check that out just to see more of his artwork.
Well, those went around, but like, you've actually drawn the mascot for whachow before, Rob, the whachow tan. It was. I use it all the time. So if people are wondering who did that, it's actually this guy right here.
I didn't even know that.
Well,
that's
don't
me.
you feel stupid?
I sure do.
Okay, so if people want to learn more about this, how do we find this? What do we gotta do?
Well, first off, you could check the Tumblr. That's mainly our main, I guess, area where we update and everything.
That's
a lot of
cryamore.tumblr.com.
updates.
Yeah, lots of updates.
Okay.
And that's another thing that marks us, I guess, kind of different from other developers, that we update and talk a lot, like too much, to the point where we have to stop ourselves before we say anything that's not supposed to be out there yet. So,
okay.
Actually, I think that's also part of why the Kickstarter was successful, since we had a head start on updating people about the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like you guys have been talking about it, and as soon as it went, I was like, I'm getting on this now, out of the way. All right, and now I have a really important question. I want you to think about it. If you could be any kind of tree, what kind of tree would you be?
I hate you so much.
What?
Hate you
Your mom.
That is my favorite kind of tree.
Sycamore tree. I don't know, maybe because it sounds cool.
It does.
Sounds like cryamore, except sycamore.
Yeah, it does.
Great.
Clever.
I want to be a whomping willow.
A whomping willow? What is that, a Mario enemy or something?
No, from
No, you dork, it's a Harry Potter enemy.
Oh, I don't know shit about Harry Potter.
Super Harry Potter brothers.
It's Harry or Ron.
Gosh.
You're a plumber, Harry.
Oh Lord. That'll be one of those unlockable arcade games if we get like $200,000. Super Potter Brothers.
Trunks has development questions.
I was gonna say, you mentioned that your move to consoles and all that is depending on whether or not you switch to Unity. What are you guys working in right now?
Well, I guess Alan could talk for a bit now.
Yeah, we actually planned to switch to Unity already, but currently we're still working on Game Maker Studio to prototype the game. And actually, we started using Construct Classic before that, and then we switched to Game Maker Studio, and then we're planning on switching to Unity, since it'll allow us to port to other platforms better and more faster. Along with actually achieving the vision that we had for Cryamore, with all the fancy effects here and there, and like 3D sound and all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can expect it to look like an actual. With Game Maker, we were kind of limited because we were stuck with, basic. We had no shaders. We had none of that stuff. This is like all development talk here.
Right.
But with Unity,
I use Game Maker Studio and Unity, so
yeah. So the differences between using 3D sound and the different mini shaders and all the different kits that Unity provides.
Right.
It's going to be a much more, I guess, beautiful game compared to if you were going to push with Game Maker.
Cool. So I know that you're reaching for the stretch goal of 150,000 for Android and Ouya support, as well as iOS. Is that something you're looking at doing in the off chance that it doesn't hit that much? Which, I don't know, you're already sitting at 118,000. It seems pretty
there's no
likely
way
that
it's not going to happen.
He really wants it on Ouya.
I really want it on Ouya because I'm one of the people that was one of the first backers for the system.
Yeah, the Ouya thing, the grouping of the Ouya and Android thing was because at that time Ouya was the only possible way we could get a console experience.
Right, and now there's like the different
NVIDIA
Android
Shield.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the NVIDIA Shield. That's like the handheld PC, pretty much. And yeah, we would definitely push to that too, with the news coming with that. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be more of a, I guess, a more circumvented game. It's going to be on more platforms if we hit that goal.
It's awesome.
Good. Rob, you had a question?
Yeah. Just want to ask, are there any kind of experiences you had with the game that you remember fondly, like something in development that you like doing, or doing something in general, or doing a flub or anything like that?
I mean, expenses as in like, I guess, hiring people and such, or?
I mean, like anything while working in the game that you remember fondly and you liked a lot, or in general, things like that. I don't think
I like
I'm
I like the part where we got a lot of money. I think that was a pretty good experience.
No, I mean, I think he means something like maybe a behind-the-scenes moment where something kind of like,
something fun happened.
Yeah.
That was
Something
pretty
like
fun,
that,
getting a lot of
yeah.
money.
All the awesome people that joined the team, one
Yeah.
after another.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
See,
I was really excited when we got Mariel Cartwright, who was my boss on
Skullgirls?
yeah, because she was Skullgirl. She's a fantastic animator, and she took over doing some animation for it, and she is awesome. So
Okay.
Counts.
So, how does one go about starting their own video game? How do you even start doing that?
Honestly, it all came from frustration was going on, in the mainstream gaming scene.
Uh-huh.
And I've been playing around making small games, playing with engines and stuff for the longest. Start from RPG Maker, from going all the way to trying out XNA and all this different stuff. So I've been making like small stuff on the side, but I think you just have to jump into it like what we did.
Okay.
Okay.
So just find
That's
you can
pretty much
like
it.
if someone wanted to start up, you just find these programs and fiddle around with it until your thumbs hurt.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
well,
much.
I mean, like there are millions of tutorials out there for game development.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
I remember yesterday even Andrew Dickman was talking about like, I really want to do that someday. You guys are amazing, and Rob, you were just as simple as like just find a programmer and start making it, man. Like it
Yeah,
really
it's
is.
just-
We live in a world where you can just do that now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. And I mean, people love ideas, and you team up with somebody who who could provide something on the table, on their end. I mean, he'll be a much stronger project in the end. And then you get together, you start talking about all this stuff, and then everything just meshes. And it's just all about an act of finding a programmer who'd be willing to work with you, and then just saying, "Hey, let's do this."
Okay.
So
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
That's nice. What were the early versions of cryamore, and are they any different than what we're seeing right now?
yeah,
Oh man.
Oh, I don't even know this. Okay.
yeah. Even on Esme's sprite, it changed quite a bit. She used to be hand drawn. We were going in a hand drawn route, like Skullgirls or what have you.
Okay.
And we still had the same hand drawn backgrounds and stuff, but even like her sprite, the way she looked, like Esme's look changed drastically since we first introduced her in last June. And from that, I mean, if you go back in our blog history, on our dev blog, you will see that the changes that she went through. And I think we even had a post showing those changes as well. And when Koki came on the scene, that's when he just totally, okay, I'm going to do this, and he put her in the new sprite format that you're so used to seeing now, and I guess that's how it came about.
Koki is a badass.
Yeah, he's
is.
really good.
So it seems to be doing pretty well. Have you guys thought about like any thoughts about a sequel yet?
Yeah.
Braxton's
I've been
Revenge.
seeing
Yeah.
character sketches of, of course, we'll play as adult Braxton. He would be like the main lead. He'll be an adult. We think about like a 10-year time skip, and then he'll be an adult. Then I guess he'll have a Pyraxan female lead as well. So if you would like the game to play like Secret of Mana, but with a combat, not combat, but I guess a combination of the whole Metroid mechanic. So you would require, 2 players to do stuff and, something along that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone that wants co-op for Cryamore will probably have to wait for the sequel.
Oh, okay.
So it's contingent on this first game if that does well, and if you want to see more of that coming on. So
I think that works well though, especially because it's Cryamore 2, and then having co-op is like a whole another challenge that like totally separate from what you guys are already doing. So that could be a cool idea. And I don't see this. I absolutely don't see this doing badly in any way, shape, or form. So my money would be on it. I don't know. Marianne, I hope you can pull off playing a 20-year-old man.
Sure.
Just keep the same voice. Just Goku. Just Japanese.
Yeah, it'll be like Luffy.
Higher.
Whoever,
Well, that's the thing, if it's based off of Japanese stuff, then I should be able to do it. Just saying.
He's the manliest looking character, and he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
If he doesn't have a chest full of hair and a beard, I'm gonna be really upset.
Does he, Rob?
He actually does have a beard, so
Hey.
it's a little fuzzy, but you know, it's a beard nonetheless.
Oh God, Mariana grows up and it's Martin. Watch, that's gonna.
That's really creepy.
Marianne grows up and it's Martin. You know,
And
not
it's
a
Martin.
context.
That's good. There's the quote of the episode.
When I grow up, I want to be Martin.
Next question, please, Jim.
Okay, so cryamore is suddenly a kart racer. What would that be like?
I think it'd be awesome.
Good answer.
All right, fund it.
I'd like it to be like the Mega Man Battle and Chase game.
Ooh.
Oh.
I have a soft spot for that game.
Okay.
Was that one like Crash Team Racing or like Diddy Kong Racing where they had like the adventure kind of mode of it, or was it just more like Mario Kart?
They kind of had a adventure mode. Yeah, there was like a story mode where you have to fight like a bunch of the other Mega Man villains and then end up fighting Dr. Wily as usual. And you actually gained like the parts of your opponents and you can mix and match with your vehicle, which kind of goes with the Mega Man gameplay mechanics.
Yeah. And the fact that we have so many different cryamore types, I mean, the ability list is just crazy. I mean, you go from, you know, like I was saying, you could heal yourself with time. You know, you could create paradoxes with time. You could do crazy stuff with the space cryamore, like go to an alternate dimension. So we could play a lot, you know, with a whole kart racer aspect, I think, if we would make a kart racing game.
Well, the other thing too, I guess this is worth mentioning is I think it's the 200,000 goal is there's like an arcade with like mini games and things
That's
like
150, isn't it?
Oh, is it 100?
No, that's
I forgot.
200.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 200. So maybe there's Cryo Kart.
Looking at
Cartamore.
Cartamore. Cryo Kart.
175. We were both wrong.
Okay.
Shut up, Martin.
We met in the middle.
I'll fight you.
Anyway,
I will throw a cryamore at your head.
I will.
The greenhouse cryamore.
What kind of Cryamore?
The cheese cryamore.
Good.
But yeah, what was the question though?
What kind of games do you guys have planned for the arcade? If you guys make it to the arcade portion of the Kickstarter.
Oh man, Alan, he actually comprised a list of all the, I guess, mini games that we could potentially have in it.
Should I bring that list up?
Hell yeah!
Give them like a little glimpse, I guess. Don't say.
How about just a couple of your favorites, and leave the others for curiosity.
What arcade wouldn't be complete without a Dance Dance Revolution machine? No, but we also plan to include a demo of 8-Bit Bastards there. But the thing is, the demo would you'd actually play as Esme there, using the 8-Bit Bastards engine. So it'd be a beat 'em up version of Cryamore.
Pretty much.
I could get behind that.
And
Do we get to beat up Braxton?
if possible, it'd be nice to include a trading card game that kind of like Triple Triad or Tetramaster from Final Fantasy.
That's cool.
Maybe you could like collect the cards like throughout the game or whatever. Like if you beat enemies, you get cards and you can use them at the machine, like that Dragon Ball Heroes thing or something. Like, yeah, I got this new card, now I can slip it in the thing like e-reader because that was so successful.
Or you
Yeah,
could just
square
like
around
walk
it.
up to people and press square like a cool person.
Or
like
you
all-
could
like all
pull out-
video games.
You could go at full Shenmue style and have like
Oh.
the Gashon.
Actually,
machine
yeah,
stuff.
we do plan to have the Gashapon
Yeah,
machine.
we're already gonna
Yes.
have. Yeah, we're already gonna have that in, especially with the Gashapon, but the whole Musashi mechanic where you have the different action figures you find.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so that's going to be a thing. Even though the action figures are not going to be, they're going to be in like, small, tiny pixel format. It still be a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
All the different pixel art of different enemies and stuff. So, I mean, we're planning to put a lot in the game already. The arcade is just pretty much the icing on top of the icing on top of the icing on the cake.
Okay.
It's not even any
Too
cake,
much
it's just
sugar.
icing.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah.
ice.
That's a lot of icing. Oh my god.
So, like, because crap, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, so I obviously you guys are selling this like through PC and Mac. Are you guys going to be selling it off of like your own website? And I know you mentioned Steam too, but I assume you guys are probably going to do like a green light thing for that, right?
Yeah, we're going to be planning on putting this on Steam, get the green light or some other means. We're also going to try to get it on Desura and GOG as well for
Okay.
the DRM free version. So there'll be multiple different ways to get the game.
Okay.
Main consoles.
Well, on Ouya probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
Oh, sorry.
So, well, if we do end up, if we don't end up getting, because I know you said you were thinking about using Unity anyway. So if you don't end up hitting the $225,000 goal, like, is there still a chance that you might use some of the money from the commercial sales, like, to put towards putting onto a console in the future?
Most definitely. That's the thing. If we don't hit that goal, we'll still look towards putting it on different platforms. It's just that the process will take much longer, and probably will run into more hiccups than intended. So
folks listening, if you don't want it to take a long time and you want to play this game on like your Wii U or your 360 or PS3 or anything, donate. You still got plenty of time. There's like 19 days left to go. Do that right now.
Make your butt bigger.
Make your butt bigger. Actually, because you guys had announced him, so it's not like a big secret anymore. Why don't you talk about Brandon a little bit? Because that was kind of an interesting story of how he came on.
Brandon and Ryan.
Yeah.
So those guys. Basically, well, Ryan, he hit me back a while ago to do. He's working on. I don't know if I should say this or not. He's working on the game. It's going to be some type of dating game thing. He contacted me about it, but it was around the time where we were like, pushing it on Cryamore on the Kickstarter pitch and everything. And I was like, I don't think I have time, for it. So then he hit me up recently. I want to say about 2 weeks ago, just to check and see how everything's going. And I just went. We were going to ask, for someone to hop on as a programmer anyway. Now he worked for Insomniac, Ratchet and Clank fame. He was one of the main programmers on Outer Knots. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
That Facebook social game, and he's not with Insomniac anymore, but he was one of the main guys who worked on a lot of stuff in it. And I pretty much just asked him, hey, you're about to, look for a programmer, an additional programmer soon, so we're extending, the invitation to you. And he said, hey, I'm interested, and he just hopped on.
Oh. Very nice.
And then Brandon hit us. I want to say before that. I guess I forget.
I was confusing Brandon and Ryan. I apologize. That was why.
Oh, no, yeah, but no, both of the guys are very valuable to us now because now we don't have to worry about programming and plus because we were doing all that stuff on our own. But now we have dedicated programmers now to get this game done. So that's any impetus for the game to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic now, and for people who were kind of skeptical before, they can see that it's going to be a real thing now. So,
yeah,
awesome.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? I have one more here, and I guess we could end on that if anyone doesn't have anything. Okay then. So, all right, good. Don't everybody talk it all at once. That'd be really bad.
Luke's got a question.
Okay. Luke.
Sorry. Just out of curiosity, what are some other game projects that you've seen on Kickstarter that you really think are interesting and worth supporting, other than your own, of course?
I actually some of the other ones I personally backed.
Spine.
Yeah, well, Spine. It's a dev kit. It's a 2D animation tool that we might be using, and we're looking into implementing that if it goes well with Unity. Freedom Planet's pretty decent.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That's cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the Sonic, I guess, style game.
Right.
What's the one that Paul Robertson was doing? It was
Mercenary Kings.
Mercenary Kings. Yeah, that one looks really cool too.
Yeah, Mercenary Kings is going to be pretty dope. Radio to Universe is another one.
Yes.
I backed the crap out of. It bleeds that style that we love coming from that era.
I'm kind of looking forward to Grim Dawn.
Grim Dawn, yeah, Grim Dawn is pretty interesting. I'm excited about Pierre Solar.
Oh yeah, Pierre Solar.
Yeah.
And I guess there's not to. I guess I'm just having a brain fart. I can't really remember all the ones that really caught my.
I'm interested to see what happens with the Homestuck game down
Hell
the
yeah.
line. Considering
That blew up big time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's other stuff.
I'm more curious about this Death Star though. Now, personally, I want to see if that gets something going.
That's the best indie game. Not
Can't believe
dying
they've
from the Death
raised
Star.
20,000.
There are
This one-
aliens out there. We're screwed if we don't get that thing up and running. You know, gee.
It was another game as well. They were doing the whole hand-drawn background thing. Days of Dawn, I believe that's the name of the game.
Days of Dawn.
Days of Dawn, and they're doing pretty good. I mean, the game looks like it's going to be pretty beautiful. It's going to be kind of a standard JRPG feel, but yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Wait, does the Oculus Rift have a Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, that's how it started. They were trying to raise like 2,500, and they raised like 1.4 million.
They're good.
Ooh,
They're
jeez.
fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'm
they're
looking
fine.
forward to that too. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I talked about it for like a half hour last week, so we don't need to go down that again.
Okay. All right. So the final super duper awesome question is: if you guys had any advice to give to our viewers about starting a game or being a voice for a game, what would that be?
Alan.
Wait, what was the question again?
If you had any
That's the
advice
advice.
for people if they want to eat a lot of donuts, what would that?
People who for people who want to make their own video games, Alan, what would be your advice?
A lot of passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need a lot of passion for video games. You need to actually have a good idea that people will probably enjoy playing, and you need if you're gonna be a one-man team, you gotta really go at it, or if not, you gotta find a good team to work with.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to second Alan with the whole passion thing. A lot of people who watch me, they know I love video games, and pretty much all my fan art my personal fan art, they consist of video games, and pretty much like video games from that era that we were basing Cryamore off of. So you can see that the passion is like there. It's like I want, to do games like this, but it's also another reason why passion is very, why you need it is because it's very easily seen when on the outside. A lot of people they came to us about our video. Our video was like, whoa man, you put so much in the video, and it's like that's the best kind of thing I've ever seen on Kickstarter. And it's like, well, yeah, because we love what we're working on. We love the project we're working on. So that's going to bleed in the game as well.
Okay.
So definitely have passion.
I would say, in addition to that, definitely setting a realistic goal for yourself. If you are like a one-man team, or if you're even just a very small team, I think that because we were actually even talking a little while ago about the idea of like, oh, what if we made a game, etc. And my first thought was always like, trying to make sure that it would be doable and not getting overly ambitious. With Rob and Alan, you guys are super ambitious with this, but you guys had a huge build up to it where you all had your own individual followings. Everybody on the team had a lot of experience in doing this kind of stuff. And had a lot of support, even before the Kickstarter went up. Like, people knew what Cryamore was and were totally on board with it. So you guys were able to go a lot farther than like just Joe Schmo off the street who says, I have a game idea, can do.
Establishing a fan base is very, I guess, crucial. If you plan on
especially
doing
now.
Yeah,
it could be a huge help. So yeah,
yep. That
Right.
and I'm trying to think of something else, but it was just on the tip of my tongue, but I swallowed it.
Marianne and Kimlin, do you guys want to give advice about getting into games, doing voiceover? Maybe while that's happening, Rob will remember the thing that slipped off his tongue.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something because there's just so much to suggest. It's kind of like saying, hey, how do I become a doctor? Now, you see, you go to school, and there's just so much to know and to say.
I would say, be very careful with your opinions, because obviously everyone knows everyone, and that's more and more true with the internet, and like more actors flying from one coast to the other to be in Pokemon or Full Metal Alchemist for non-specific example. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good advice, because the internet is full of opinions, and I guess I recently tweeted about this because there have been negative opinions about the game. There will be, and from me being an artist, I guess an online artist for so long, I guess I grew callous to opinions because it's just gonna fuel my drive to to just show them up. So just growing a backbone is crucial if you're gonna be doing this thing.
Don't
take everything to heart.
Douchebag on the internet.
Yep.
I'm not.
Well, when it comes to criticism, it's kind of funny because like the first big role that I had was in this magical girl show, and I was like the sidekick, the little ferret, and he was a little boy, duh. And I read this YouTube comment where this person went through each and every character in this clip, and they were like, "This person sounds too pretty. This person sounds too like old, and that's me. Sounds too girly." And I'm like, "Well, what? So and so sounds too pretty? How is that a problem?" Like,
that sounds far.
You gotta make them sound uglier.
yeah, and we're talking like the fan service chick with the big boobs, and she's got the dog ears and everything. So,
this person sounds too good. I don't like it.
Yeah, right. Well, that was definitely not the problem
feel.
in that show. Nobody.
Why didn't they get Steve Bloom to do it?
Yeah.
To be the girl. All right.
Shady could have done it better.
Why didn't they get Shady? Yeah,
Shady's got to finish Tome right now.
Yeah, right this second.
You're gonna have to bleep that again.
Bleep that out.
Sorry.
Kimlin, can I be a little facetious and say if people want your real answer, should they just go to your Newgrounds blog because you've got a lot of extensive stuff on there about advice. I know.
There's my Newgrounds and also my Facebook because I made a ginormous FAQ because so many people keep asking and I like giving very thorough answers. And people will instead of seeing not just like, okay, what steps should I take, because everyone else has them. If you go to, I think, Kari Walgren, Steve Bloom's, D. Baker's, pretty much go down the whole list of all the people who actually are known in the industry. They'll have an FAQ on how did I get into voice acting, and everyone has different routes. For me, I basically kind of like have life tips. And I have to say that one of the more something that pretty much helped me the most that you might or may not find on the FAQ on my Facebook page, Facebook, Nilmic, it sounds really, really dorky and cheesy, but it's kind of like have a life because let's face it, that there are lots of talented voice talents out there. Some people sound similar to one another. I don't want to say that in a mean way, but I mean kind of like this. We are vocal chameleons. All of us can be vocal chameleons, and we pretty much can take on the vocal qualities of other performers. But what's really going to help you stand out? Your personal style. How are you going to get that personal style aside from, I don't know, cookie cuttering your reads and performances? It's pretty much in a way being a bit more method. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it other than it's kind of like learning how to draw, in that you know the fundamentals, you know vocal technique, you know your acting basics and stuff like that. But what will make you stand out? It's your understanding of this information, how you kind of change it and make it your own thing. It's
funny you mention that because I got pulled in to do an interview with one of the big agencies out here on the West Coast, Vox, and I didn't get signed with them because they said that my boy voice, which they told me was probably my most marketable asset, they said your boy voice sounds really similar to someone else's boy voice. So, having a life has worked in my favor because I've spent that whole life trying to track that person down and murder them so that I can.
She's gotten very close, but thankfully that person has very good security. So.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's bled into my voice acting and made me sound very bitter and spiteful.
Did Curb just say Tome again?
No, I didn't.
No, but you just did.
No.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
By the way, I have kind of a funny story actually that I think kind of ties in with this. So, continuing what I was talking about before, where I approached Rob about like wanting to help him get voices and whatnot. Kimlin had actually approached them separately from my talking to any of them before.
Yeah.
And Rob was actually like, "Oh yeah, I think that Kimlin would actually be really, really good for Esmeralda." And I said, I think that Kimlin could be really good for Esmeralda, but you should let me have her audition alongside a couple other people because she might actually be better for somebody else, and somebody else might be better for Esmeralda. And so I actually had our 3 leading girls, Mariana, Kimlin, and Erica, all who isn't here, so screw her. But we love you, Erica. I had the 3 of them all read for Esmeralda, and through that, Rob realized, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I think that Erica actually is a good fit for this. And then we had immediately after the auditions for Bliss and Braxton, and Kimlin and Mariana both ended up being perfect for those, which was also kind of funny to me because Esmeralda and Bliss being rivals with each other. Kimlin and Erica do a lot of like pony stuff, and they're often like Rainbow Dash and Rarity with each other, and now they're kind of doing that in the game in the same sort of way.
Yeah,
and Marianne ends up being the little boy again, which, you know, so.
My favorite pony.
No, yes. I'm a B character. But yeah, so that ended up working out a lot better because now, like, Kimlin ended up getting, like, a character that is even more suited to her than Esmeralda, which will have a lot of, like, funny moments and things like that. And then Erica brought in, and she ended up being really good for Esmeralda. And Mariana's a little boy. So, you know.
All the time.
All the time, forever. So.
Yay.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, well, that's going to be about it for us, unless someone else has a magical thing that they want to pop up out of nowhere. Yes, no, yes?
Butts!
All right!
Butts.
Cool, that's going to be it. Thank you for joining us. I love the project. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to put my face all over it.
Hold on, wait, I do have a question.
No.
Rob, can I please talk about poop at least 2 or 3 times in the show? Or in the
pretty sure I'll be able to probably throw something in the script regarding that. I saw your tweet the other day, and I was like, yeah, that might be a little bit fun.
It has to be done.
He's like 12 years old. You can't not have him talk about poop.
Yeah, he's a big...
Throwing some poop in there.
A big menace.
Just a little.
So everybody listening, like I said before, there's 19 days left. Please continue to donate if this is the first time you're hearing about it. You know, go check out the Kickstarter. Go to cryamore.tumblr.com and all the usual places you can find all the information. There's a lot of really cool incentives to pick it up. There's going to be an art book with lots of really cool illustrations. There's going to be physical copies of the game you can get on disc if you donate certain amounts. There's lots of incentives to pay. And the more you give, then the better the game will be. So please go check it out. And
just go to Kickstarter.com and search Cryamore, and it'll pop up, and you'll be able to do whatever you want.
Bigger spell butts. Spell like cry and then amore, like that's amore. So
yeah.
Bigger butts.
Bigger butts. Donate today and get a bigger butt. Yahoo!
Donate.
All right.
Get Bliss's butt to be huge.
Get my butt to be huge? What?
No.
Yeah.
Gracious.
Get those sandbags ready.
That's a different Kickstarter altogether.
Again.
All right, that's gonna be it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Well, everybody except yeah, absolutely, man. Big fan of your stuff. You're the best. Alan, you're the best too. Kimlin, you are you're just the second best. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right, and Marianne, you could be 1.5 best. Is that all right?
Big butts.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Let's get out.
Alrighty.
Whachow! It's like a kick in your balls! That's how I do.
Kimlin.
Wait, what?
Can you do that phrase as Bliss?
What's going on? Because I just went AFK to turn on the lights.
Oh, that's okay. The phrase in the chat that I just posted, can you say that as Bliss right now?
It's the tagline for the show.
Alrighty, there we go. Yeah.
Whachow! It's like a kick in the nuts.
Thank you.
Yay! All right. Cool.
Okay, now one more. Except don't suck as much. This is how I direct.
Oh.
Shut up, Goose.
Oh,
Oh, that's
hang up.
super
Hey, Kirk,
mean.
could you do one where you don't sound like a prick?
Hey guys, Super Star Guy here at the end. Again, if you want to donate to this Kickstarter and get on the ground floor, if you want to, the game is awesome. You guys should at least check out the video, the Kickstarter video. You need to go to just Kickstarter.com, look up cryamore, watch the video. That's all I'm going to ask, but honest to God, you're going to want to get on the ground floor on this right now because it's awesome. If you're a fan of whachow, if you're brand new, it's the first thing you're listening to, we got a Facebook, facebook.com/whachow. Join in all the fun. We do crazy stuff there all the time. If you go to whachow.com, it takes you to the subreddit with our little community. It's not that big right now, but it's growing all the time. You can join in, be part of that. And then if you go to muscletower.com, special thanks to them for hosting us. You guys are great. And that's about it. I'm your host, Sci Guy, and join us next time every Wednesday for something crazy, fun, and interesting. Well, if I could say interesting right, that would be great.
We just started brainwashing and